The Curse of Charles Island, The Forbidden Voyage. The ocean was restless as Jake Calloway tightened his grip on the boat's wheel. The salty wind howled through the mist, whispering secrets only the waves could understand. He had heard the stories about Charles Island, a cursed land off the coast of Milford, Connecticut. But stories never stopped treasure hunters. Jake wasn't alone. His crew, Emma, a historian obsessed with lost artifacts, Mark, a cynical skeptic, and Leo, a fearless diver, huddled in the boat's cabin, studying an ancient map. "Here," Emma said, tapping a worn parchment. "The journal of Captain Kidd claims his final treasure was buried on Charles Island before he was captured. And every expedition to retrieve it has ended in disaster," Mark scoffed. "Disappearing ships, cursed artifacts, and those who return? Well, they don't last long, do they?" Jake smirked. "Superstitions won't stop us." As they neared the island, the water grew eerily still. The mist thickened, clinging to the boat like ghostly fingers. The sun, though still in the sky, cast long, unnatural shadows on the jagged shoreline. They anchored and waded through knee-deep water to the beach. A dense forest loomed ahead, twisted trees forming an ominous barrier. Emma ran her fingers over a moss-covered stone. "This symbol, it's from the Algonquin tribe. A warning." "Warning or not, we came for treasure," Leo said, striding ahead. The deeper they ventured, the more unnatural the silence became. No birds, no insects, just the sound of their own breathing. Then they found it, a clearing with an ancient stone altar half buried in vines, and at its base a rusted chest. Leo wasted no time. He grabbed his crowbar and pried it open. Inside, gold coins and jewels gleamed under the dim light. "We did it!" he exclaimed, but Emma's face was pale. "No, we shouldn't have." A guttural growl echoed from the forest. The ground trembled. A chill crawled up Jake's spine as he turned to see something emerging from the shadows. A figure, draped in rotting seaweed, with hollow eyes that glowed like dying embers. It was human once, but now it was something else. The wind howled through the trees, carrying a single whisper. "The curse is awake." The history of the Curse of Charles Island. Charles Island, a small yet infamous landmass off the coast of Milford, Connecticut, has been shrouded in mystery and misfortune for centuries. Despite its picturesque appearance, the island is believed to be cursed, an ill-fated place where every attempt at settlement or treasure hunting has ended in disaster. The curse's origins, the legend of Captain Kidd. One of the most enduring legends tied to Charles Island is its association with the notorious pirate Captain William Kidd. Before his capture and execution in 1701, Kidd is said to have hidden a portion of his vast treasure somewhere along the east coast, and many believe that Charles Island was one of these locations. According to pirate lore, Kidd placed a curse upon his treasure, swearing that anyone who dared to steal it would face a fate worse than death. Whether this was a superstition or a calculated scare tactic, stories of tragedy have followed every rumored treasure hunt on the island. The curse deepens, the lost settlements. The island wasn't always abandoned. Over the centuries, multiple attempts were made to settle and develop the land, yet all met with failure. 1639, the first colonial settlement. European settlers tried to build a plantation on Charles Island, but strange and violent storms frequently destroyed their crops. After several years of unexplained misfortunes, they abandoned the island, calling it uninhabitable. 1850. The island's transformation. Charles Island became home to a Catholic retreat called Our Lady of Mercy. The retreat thrived for a short period but mysteriously shut down. Witnesses later reported eerie apparitions and disembodied whispers from the abandoned buildings. 1929. The failed resort. Investors attempted to turn the island into a summer resort, but before construction could be completed, the entire project went bankrupt. Workers claimed to hear voices in the wind, warning them to leave. 1950s. The final attempt. A group of treasure hunters, convinced they had found Captain Kidd's gold, spent months digging. They found strange artifacts, none of which seemed valuable. But every person involved either fell ill, had terrible accidents, or vanished under bizarre circumstances. Native American warnings. The sacred land of the Paugussett tribe. Before European settlers arrived, the Paugussett tribe considered Charles Island a sacred place, using it for spiritual rituals. The tribe warned that anyone who disturbed the land would be cursed, and they told settlers to leave it untouched. Many believe that the island's misfortunes are not only due to Captain Kidd's curse, but also due to the wrath of ancient spirits guarding their sacred land. Modern-day mysteries. The curse lives on. Today, Charles Island is a protected wildlife sanctuary, and visitors are forbidden from stepping foot on it from May to August due to bird nesting season. However, those who visit in the off-season have reported unexplained shadows and figures appearing at dusk, sudden, unnatural storms forming around the island, disembodied voices and whispers carried by the wind, boats mysteriously malfunctioning when getting too close to shore. Despite these eerie occurrences, treasure hunters and ghost seekers continue to visit, hoping to uncover the island's secrets. But as history has shown, those who disturb Charles Island rarely leave unscathed. Is it just coincidence, or does the curse of Charles Island still claim its victims? Perhaps some mysteries are best left buried. The dead do not forgive. The forest came alive with whispers, voices from centuries past, murmuring through the twisted branches. The ghastly figure stepped forward, its hollow eyes locked onto the intruders. Leo stumbled back, clutching a gold coin. "What the hell is that?" Emma's voice trembled. "Captain Kidd's treasure was never meant to be found. The curse, it's real." Jake unsheathed his hunting knife, but the moment he moved, the thing let out a shriek, inhuman, deafening. The trees trembled, and the very air seemed to turn against them. "Run!" Jake shouted. They bolted through the jungle, but the shadows stretched unnaturally, blocking their escape. Mark tripped over a root, and before he could get up, skeletal hands shot from the earth, dragging him down. His scream was cut short as the ground swallowed him whole. "Mark!" Emma shrieked, but Jake yanked her away. The thing, the cursed guardian of the treasure, was hunting them, gliding through the trees like a vengeful specter. The beach. If they could reach the boat, they could escape. Leo sprinted ahead, but as soon as his foot touched the shore, the water surged unnaturally. A towering wave rose, and from its depths, shadowy figures emerged, drowned sailors with hollowed-out eyes, their fingers curled like claws. Leo let out a strangled scream as the water consumed him. Emma sobbed. "We're trapped." Jake pulled the rusted chest from his backpack. "The curse isn't chasing us, it's punishing us. We have to return the treasure." The guardian loomed closer, its decayed face inches from Jake's. Its voice was a ghostly whisper. "The gold is not yours. The price must be paid." With trembling hands, Emma grabbed the chest and threw it back into the altar. The wind howled, and the jungle trembled as the spirits let out a final wail. Then, silence. The specters faded. The cursed guardian dissolved into dust, carried away by the sea breeze. The island exhaled, the unnatural tension lifting. Jake and Emma staggered onto the boat, panting. As they pulled away, the mist swallowed Charles Island whole, as if it had never been there. Emma whispered, "No one will believe us." Jake stared at the fading island, his hands still shaking. Good. Some things aren't meant to be found. And as the boat drifted away, the island's final warning echoed through the wind. The dead do not forgive. The end.